There's few artists this decade who have made quite an impact on the world like Rihanna has. And while the Better Have My Money music video undoubtedly changed the scope of music forever, I'm not just talking about her musical impact on the world, I'm thinking more broadly. Because musically, Rihanna has been quiet this year, but in every other aspect, she's making lots of noise. In fact, 2019 has been one of Rihanna's best yet. And we've compiled all the reasons why, so here are all the insanely successful things that Rihanna has done this year outside of the studio, right here on Listed. One moment from Rihanna's year had major international implications, like it was a cultural moment that shook both the Eastern and the Western hemispheres and got people talking for days. It's when Rihanna traveled all the way across the world for the launch of a new Fenty Beauty store in the heart of Seoul, the capital of South Korea. Immediately following the store opening, Rihanna hosted a Fenty Beauty artistry and beauty talk at the Lot World Tower. And then of course comes the after party. That's when the fun really started, because Rihanna was living her best life when she ran into none other than Jennie Kim from Blackpink. They got lots of great photos together, and the internet blew up with fan photos and videos that were taken at the after party. People immediately lost it. One person said, Jennie low-key freaking out when Rihanna put her arm around her shoulder is sending me. Jennie, like the rest of us, has always been a Rihanna stan, and just last year she told Elle Korea, "My #1 idol will always be Rihanna. She has everything I want to have." I mean, same girl, but she's so much of a Rihanna fan that way back in 2010, when Jennie first auditioned for YG Entertainment, the record label that reps Blackpink, she sang Rihanna's Take a Bow. So now naturally people are hoping that there's a collab coming at some point, maybe not on the next Rihanna album, but a future album possibly, maybe sometime by 2030. We'll be gearing up for R10. But speaking of collabs, Rihanna has collabed with Drake musically and romantically in the past, but when she attended his birthday party earlier this year, I think it was just a matter of friendship. Drake celebrated his birthday in late October at Poppy nightclub in LA, and despite it being a Monday night, Rihanna showed up anyway and she got everybody talking. And right from the front door, Rihanna and her friends were escorted to Drake's private table. She and Drake hung out for a large portion of the night, laughing together and chatting at the table as Drake kept ordering bottles of Dom and Don Julio. You know, because only the best of the best for Rihanna. And despite telling Vogue in 2018 that her and Drake don't really talk anymore, the two certainly seem to be having a great time together. But let's be real, all of Rihanna's best moments from this year were all done by herself. Like this next accomplishment, which has self-made in the title. Earlier this year, Forbes released their annual list of America's richest self-made women. It was in the same edition that named Jay-Z the first hip-hop artist billionaire, but who topped the list of richest female musicians? Rihanna did, with a cool $600 million. And she did it all on her own. Forbes reports that most of that money comes from Rihanna's cosmetics line, Fenty Beauty. She raked in about $570 million in just the first 15 months of business.
To Rihanna.
Now, since starting Fenty Beauty, Rihanna has also expanded partnerships with clothing brands. She began a lingerie brand, Savage X Fenty, and has since started dabbling in high-end clothing as well. It's all about that work. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself, but the 31-year-old has only made a small portion of her wealth through her music, which might be why she put her next album on the back burner. And to be honest, after hearing those numbers, I totally get it, sis. I mean, that amount of money certainly explains those rumors that Rihanna rented out an entire island to record her next album, but how do you follow up something like being named the richest self-made female musician? Well, you graced the cover of Vogue, of course, and by now she's a seasoned pro because this was her 25th cover of Vogue. She's been in Vogue magazines all over the world, the first one being for Vogue Italia in 2009. Since then, she's also been on British Vogue, Vogue Brazil, Vogue Arabia, and of course, she's been on the cover of US Vogue a record-breaking 6 times. That's including 3 September issues, which is Vogue's biggest and most coveted magazine issue of the year. So 3 September issues since 2009, that's 1/3 of the past decade that Rihanna has held that spot. And being on the cover of that many Vogue issues is a feat that only few people have accomplished before, like supermodel Gigi Hadid. And in the accompanying interview for her latest edition this past November, Rihanna dished on the state of America's politics, the Met Gala, and of course the release date for her next album. She said, "I have been trying to get back into the studio. It's not like I can lock myself in for an extended amount of time like I had the luxury of doing before. I know I have some very unhappy fans who don't understand the inside bits of how it works." Rihanna did give the Navy a lot of credit when the interviewer asked for a specific release date. She said, "No, oh my God, they're gonna kill you for that, and they're gonna kill me more." But people who were really anxious to hear Rihanna sing a song or two probably tuned into her movie with Donald Glover this year, Guava Island. The Amazon original movie starred these 2 incredible musicians playing love interests who try and liberate their home, Guava Island, through music. The movie dropped immediately after Childish Gambino's Coachella set in April and featured a bunch of his hit songs like This Is America, as well as some songs he wrote exclusively for the movie and never officially released. But you know what it didn't feature? A single note sung by Rihanna. She came in, acted, collected her check, and left. all without even humming a tune for Donald, though she did certainly show off her dance moves. The movie generated some Emmy buzz, but it turns out that it wasn't actually nominated for any awards this past September. Though it is nominated for a Critics' Choice Award for Best Movie Made for Television, it's going up against other films like El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and Deadwood, the movie. The Critics' Choice Awards will take place in January, so we'll see if Rihanna steps out for her first red carpet of the new year. I'm positive that the 2020s will be just as stylish as the 2010s. And Rihanna showed us a thing or two about fashion this year too. In May, she became the first woman to create an original brand for LVMH, as well as the first Black woman to head up a design house at LVMH, the world's largest luxury conglomerate. The Paris-based company owns major luxury brands like Christian Dior, Louis Vuitton, and Givenchy. But this has been an amazing year for Rihanna in fashion. She debuted the latest of her Savage x Fenty line in a special on Amazon Prime, and it was incredible. But Fenty Beauty and Rihanna's Savage x Fenty lingerie line generated an estimated $570 million in revenue last year. Oh, and Fenty was only founded in 2017, so let that one sink in. Her Amazon special was a 50-minute spectacle filled with music, dancing, and of course tons of modeling. It was hailed as the next level Victoria's Secret fashion show with a more inclusive and diverse cast. Some people credit Rihanna's Savage x Fenty show with the cancellation of the Victoria's Secret fashion show altogether. This is likely due to the backlash the brand has faced after years and years of not using trans or plus-size models. But Rihanna has the complete opposite approach when it comes to selling her lingerie. In the special, while reviewing potential models for the show, Rihanna made it very clear that diversity and inclusivity were key, saying that, quote, "Every woman deserves to feel sexy." She also said, "I'm looking for unique characteristics in people that aren't usually highlighted in the world of fashion." And boy, did Rihanna follow through. Pretty much everyone watching can see some version of themselves represented in this runway show. There were women of all shapes, sizes, and ethnicities, but this isn't the first time Rihanna has spoken out about how important inclusivity is in her brand. She recently told Entertainment Tonight about how important it is for her to make products for everybody type. She said, quote, "It makes me feel like now we can now neglect those consumers. That consumer is one that's been neglected before, and I'm not gonna let that happen here." One person tweeted, "The power of diversity. Thank you, Rihanna. We are so proud of you." And finally, someone said what we're all thinking. Rihanna really went from walking on the Victoria's Secret show to creating her own lingerie show with bodies of all shapes, sizes, and colors, a mogul. We love an upgrade, and I have to mention it doesn't seem like the Victoria's Secret angels are missing the VS fashion show too much, because many of them completely slayed Rihanna's Savage x Fenty show. Gigi Hadid, Bella Hadid, Joan Smalls, and Cara Delevingne are all former VS angels who have gone savage, for a lack of a better word. And if it wasn't impressive enough, Rihanna did the whole thing in just under 10 weeks. The Amazon special showed the production of everything from the choreography to the design process and everything in between. The musical performances were part of the experience of the whole show, joining in with the models and doing choreographed routines. And guess who didn't sing? No surprises there. But she did enough in the production that we won't be mad at Rihanna for not singing too. And on top of stunting at her own fashion show, Rihanna also turned out at the British Fashion Awards in early December. She posed with A$AP Rocky on the red carpet, and both were literally dripping with coolness mixed with high fashion. It's a look that I've always strived for but never achieved. She rocked a mint green dress, Fenty of course, gloves, matching heels, and a huge diamond necklace. And not only did Rihanna look amazing, but she must have felt great too as she took home the Urban Luxe Award, beating out some other huge fashion names. And lastly, if all of that hasn't convinced you of Rihanna's power yet, then take a look at this definitive list by Forbes. In mid-December, Rihanna debuted on the Forbes 100 Most Powerful Women list, and she placed even higher than some of her musical contemporaries. Yep, it's Rihanna's world and we're just living in it. She came in at number 61 in the entertainment category, ahead of both Beyonce at 66 and Taylor Swift at 71. Just for some context, Oprah came in at number 20 and Queen Elizabeth II at number 40, so 61 really ain't bad for Bad Gal Riri. So are you convinced yet? You should be, because Rihanna has had an incredible year to end an even better decade. I, for one, can't wait to see what she's up to next year. Do you have any guesses? Let me know in the comment section below. And then click that subscribe button to make sure you're getting all the top news stories from Clevver News. And of course, click right over here to watch another brand new story. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and hanging out with me here at Clevver. I'm Emil Ennis Jr., and I'll see you soon.